what's up and why, bringing you the bright side of life one fun moment at a time. Brought to you by the New Thought Media Network. Please put your hands together for your hosts, Rev Casey Taylor and Miss B Lovely.
Well, as y'all can see, Miss B Lovely is not here. My name is Reverend Casey Taylor. I am grateful to be joined by our featured special guest, Reverend Dr. Donelle Cole.
Hey, let's go. I can step in for Be Lovely just for today.
Yes, I'm
Take
grateful. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for rearranging your schedule so that you can be here with us today.
Come on, man. I'm more than happy to be able to do it. Every time we connect, it's a vibe. So let's get it.
It sure is. I love that when I asked you, you said, "Is there a topic?" And I said, "I don't have anything scheduled. What do you think? What you want to do?" You came up with this family feud idea. You were talking about how the holidays are coming up. I'm flying to Chicago for the holidays myself this year. So you want to talk a little bit about what inspired our theme and our topic for today?
Absolutely. So, around the holidays, one of the biggest things that's both a blessing and a frustration is family. And I know, like, I've been watching your sermons over loving the unlikable. And so that's one of the things that triggered it for me over watching the sermons that I've been seeing you preach. And so for this one, I know for my family, one of the things that comes up for me in this spiritual journey is how to create harmony with like discomfort, whether it be your elders, whether it's complaining about the in-laws, whether it's how is the food and who's preparing it. And so I thought, man, in the time where there seems to be so much chaos, this is either a moment where you get to experience a good amount of peace and connection, or it's the opposite where it's like, oh my God, you're bumping heads and frustration. And, how do I have peace in something that's rare that we often hardly get to spend genuine and intimate time with our family? So that's why I
For
thought about
sure. I love it. I love that you're here for it. And I appreciate you bringing up the Centers for Spiritual Living global theme for November, which is loving the unlikable. And I appreciate that both of
Yeah,
us been practicing it. And it really helps. Like you said, November, Thanksgiving, really wrapping our minds around loving the unlikable as we
yeah,
may be stepping into challenging situations.
yeah,
As you might as you I think that you are watching online last week, you mentioned that how I talked about when people who I love disagree with my values, I really struggle with that. I don't have
yeah,
any tips. I don't have any feedback. I
yeah,
am just somebody who's taking responsibility and accountability for the struggle. The
yeah,
struggle
yeah,
is real, and all I know to do is take responsibility for the discomfort
yeah,
and do my best to love the unlikable and recognize I'm
yeah,
not good at it,
yeah.
but I'm out here doing my best.
That's good. That's what it's about. And I think recognizing even that, what role does my preference play and how well I can love other people? You know, like despite other people having different beliefs doesn't mean that I have to have this preconceived expectation of how much I accept them. It makes me view how much programming is the way that we love. But I've been there before because sometimes people are it's not so much the beliefs, but it's also the conditioning that they have and the way they want their views to see you. You get what I'm saying? Like you may be going through your evolution, but they still want to see you in a certain manner, so they try to treat you in a certain manner, and all the while you're like, I'm not the same person anymore.
I hear that a lot. It's wild. I don't think I personally it, I change so often people recognize that they can't keep up. So it helps that
Yeah,
I think I don't feel really held to who I used to be. Because people know, like they don't even know, can't even wrap their mind around who I am, what I got going on right
yeah,
now. What I find for me, and this is the hardest part about loving the unlikable, isn't so much of holding people to who they've been. What I was saying about values, and this comes up at
yeah,
Thanksgiving family dinners, right? Is it my and I talked about this on Sunday as well. My hardest time are family members being a black person and the white side of my family
yeah,
doesn't really recognize what you just said about conditioning. What I've learned about conditioning and white supremacy is this recognition of how so many people don't understand how white supremacy is built into all of our institutions.
Yeah.
And because it is built into all of our institutions, it's really hard to see. And I don't care what color, what race, like if you are an American, we were raised, socialized from that perspective. And so it is so difficult, especially somebody who doesn't experience it. If you are not walking through this country as a Black American, it's a lot harder, I'm finding, for people who do not present as Black to wrap their minds around the conditioning, the fact, the reality that white supremacy was intentionally built into each institution. So people don't notice it. It's been there. It's always been there since our country was formed. And I believe it's kind of where we are. So family drama kind of exacerbates that for me, where my family are actively voting for and supporting and holding beliefs that feel oppressive for me. And so it's hard for me to just sit at the table and eat and listen to all the things that are going on and mind my business and, you know, and focus on my meal. I struggle.
That's interesting. I would like to know the dynamics of it because mine's is kind of different. Like I have a Black family, but my wife is mixed and she has a white mom, and it's a blended family. And her white mom is very open-minded, very heartfelt, more humanitarian, love for all people. But we do have a family that's around that is very much kind of racial, especially in this economics that we're seeing being experienced in politics. That's kind of made it uncomfortable. The all American, ethnocentrism, the pride that comes from it, and the more disharmony that's created from it. And I'm such a peaceful person where I'm like, man, I'd rather not deal with the ignorance, but I do let you show up and however your ignorant is and say, I'm grateful for the ability to say, I don't have to subject myself to that belief system. I can hear you, you can exist, but I don't have to allow it to dictate my inner reality or my inner world because I feel like at the end of the day, everything can be taken away from me, but this is the one thing I know that is mine, right? I also think like, man, if I only had 24 hours left, would this even matter?
That
Right?
part.
Me
Yes.
connected
Yes.
with my
You
nieces,
only
me
had
connect
24 hours left. Would
yeah,
this even matter? That
yeah.
part. That's
Especially
beautiful. I never really thought about it like that.
yeah,
I
like
appreciate it.
and the more I see this every single year, the less people are there. Family members in hospice care, people getting cancer, right? And these factors don't care about your race, your creed, your theology. Like some of these external factors don't care. So I think about the universal principle that does bring a sense of oneness. Now it's not the way that everybody else frames it or thinks about it, but I do try to look for experiences that allow me to connect that's beyond the constructs. White supremacy, it's a construct, right? It is something that's been created to keep people in power. It may be human nature. I can't fault them. All right. If I could enjoy a little bit of the privilege, I can't sit here and say I wouldn't partake, right? But it is the discriminative factor that prevents people from being able to experience joy. But I think about this, there's also some blessings that come from being involved in a contrast, right? Your
Hmm.
ability to show up as light, your ability to spread some wisdom and knowledge, your ability to be a frame of reference that for some generations, people may have not even never had that before. There are some family members who grew up in racist households. Bro, you see me. I'm not stupid, bro. I'm educated. I'm not out here trying to rob people. I'm not the stereotype. I'm a Black involved father with my family, right? I'm married. Some of the things that I've been able to experience in my life or in our generation has been a first thing, or first time presence. And I think that sometimes, even in theology or religion or whatever people have been able to read, they don't always get the opportunity to embody it and experience it for themselves. Love. Would you know love if religion wasn't involved, right? If there was none of these factors that do prevent us from being able to show up authentically in such a way that can make a person feel peace and at ease with themselves, they may not get that.
Absolutely true. I appreciate you being on here, spreading the word, dropping knowledge, dropping gems. And also I love that you had this idea of playing Family Feud together. So
Yes, I do.
I got my list. Are you
Okay,
ready? Are you ready to play?
let's run it.
All right, it's time to play the feud. I should have had like a black
Little
comb, had
mustache,
my Steve Harvey mustache, right? I should have been gotten prepared. Oh, I
like
got
Steve
a
Harvey. I should threw my suit on. Let's
All
run it.
right. All right. So my top 5 list. This is my top 5 favorite things to do on Thanksgiving Day. What's
Hey,
your guess?
top 5 things to do. Top 5 things
My
to
top
do
5 things to do on
on
Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving. Let's run it.
Yes.
Okay. I know you gotta have food is definitely gotta be on there. Eat.
Absolutely. Eat. That's number 5. Eat. Yes.
I got okay. That's number 5 is
That's
eat.
number 5. Yeah. I mean, I'm a
Okay.
vegan. So, like, Thanksgiving food, basically, what that means is that I got to do all the cooking for myself.
Yes.
And
Mhm. Thank
it's not as
you.
pleasant. I'm not the best vegan Thanksgiving chef. So, Thanksgiving, the eating part ain't as fun for me on Thanksgiving as it used to be back before I was a vegan.
See, listen, I've done 2 or 3 vegan Thanksgivings, so cooking has to be on the list. It has to
Yeah.
be.
It should be, but it's not because I really don't like
What?
it. Like,
Okay, I'll take the
you right.
I would say connecting with family.
Connecting with family, it should. Well, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna go bing. I'm gonna
Okay.
go number 1. What I have here is family sharing of gratitude.
Oh, that's
Our
beautiful.
family has a tradition of going around the table and sharing what we're grateful for each year, and I
Yeah,
love how that tradition came about, like just very organically,
yeah,
and that we've continued it. We've probably been doing it for a good 25, 30 years at this point in my life.
that's
So
beautiful.
that is my number 1 favorite thing to do at Thanksgiving. So you
That's
got number 1, number
okay.
5, 3 left.
Let me ask, is Mariah Carey anywhere on the list?
It is not. Not for Thanksgiving. It is not. I do play Mariah at Thanksgiving. You definitely you're in the right wheelhouse, but it didn't come up because I'm Mariah Carey 365.
Yes. I was sitting thinking like, yeah, Mariah Carey's not number 1. What is that? Okay, okay,
Christmas would be a different situation. Mariah would
absolutely.
definitely have my list of top 5 things to do on Christmas Day is listen to
Eat,
Mariah's
grateful.
Christmas albums for sure.
What about travel?
Travel, yes, you got it. Number 4, bing.
Let's
Travel,
go.
flying. Yes, you are absolutely right. So, I don't know where. Let me see if I get you back
Oh,
in.
hold on one sec.
I don't know where you went. Anyway, yeah. So we got my family. Number 1, you said connection with family. That's family sharing of gratitude. Number 4, which I put flying because I like, and it's wild because like when one thinks of Thanksgiving, you don't think of enjoying Thanksgiving travel. The airports are wild, and regardless of the fact that the airports have a tendency to be wild, because I live in Oklahoma City, they're really just not that bad. And but even before that, when I lived in LA and traveled from LA to Chicago once a year, for some reason, it wasn't a problem when I would travel from LA to Chicago. So, like despite the fact people think of Thanksgiving as travel as like crazy, it's always worked out my favor. So I'm just riding the wave and enjoying being above the clouds. So you've got 2 wrong. You have
3
3
right.
right, and we've got 2 left.
Okay, can you
My
hear me
top,
okay? Can you hear me okay?
yeah, I can hear
Okay,
you.
okay,
Yep,
perfect. So I got 2 wrong, I got 3 right, I got 2 more.
yep,
You
2
like to
more.
eat, travel, the what are you grateful for tradition. Dang, top 5 things to do. Read.
Read. And I
What?
don't read on Thanksgiving. I know. Not me. The other 2 things is what I like to do. This is I got my prayers, my superpower shirt on right now.
Yes.
I like to lead the prayer. My family is Christian and Jewish, and being somebody that where prayer is my superpower, I also have a praise well with others t-shirt. And my Pray as Well with Other t-shirt really demonstrates the fact that when my family, my Christian and my Jewish family, come together for a holiday meal, that I pray in a way where when I end prayer, I say, let the Jews at the table say amen. And then I say, and in Jesus' name, let the Christians say amen. So that I'm both honoring the Jews at the table that don't want to have their prayer sealed in Jesus' name, in the same way that the Christians feel at my table, at our Thanksgiving table, feel pretty strongly about the inclusion of each prayer being in Jesus' name. So I really love that my family trusts me, especially because each one of them has their own spiritual traditions. I love that my family trusts me when they say, when they ask me to lead prayer at Thanksgiving, as opposed to me volunteering. It, to me, it's just the greatest honor. So that was my number 2, was praying over the
Gotcha.
food. And my number 3 favorite thing to do on Thanksgiving is to acknowledge that this holiday is about the oppression of Native people. Like, as we were talking about the presence of white supremacy in our institutions, I don't want to deny, I don't want to forget the fact, and I mentioned this on Sunday too, that this holiday came with this narrative in our school systems that we learned when the internet came along was a flat out false narrative. And despite the fact that it is a cultural American tradition, I think the best way to honor it is to acknowledge the oppression of Native people on that day in particular. So those are my top 5.
That's beautiful. All right, you ready to trade places?
Yeah, let's play the feud.
All right, let's go. Top 5.
Yes. Is it your top 5? I think I thought you had a different list. Is it
Man,
top
I was
5?
gonna do oh, let's do that. Meals that you can absolutely, or food that you can absolutely not mess up on Thanksgiving.
Meals, food that you can absolutely not mess up on Thanksgiving. I'm gonna
Yeah.
start with turkey. Is turkey on your list?
Turkey is low on my list. Number 5.
Number 5. Okay. I'm gonna go mac and cheese.
Of course, mac and cheese. That's number 2.
Number 2 is mac and cheese. I'm gonna say greens, collard greens.
Greens didn't make it on my list.
Greens did not make it on your list.
Yeah.
All right. So we got mac and cheese. We got turkey. Mac and cheese is number 2. Turkey is number 5. I'm gonna go with dressing.
Dressing is number 1.
Number 1,
What is your favorite?
dressing. Say it one more time.
I gotta ask, what is your favorite? I know you do vegan, but do you have a favorite?
You know, when you brought that up, when dressing would be number 1, I've been making vegan dressing from jump. The moment that, because dressing, I sat my auntie down, like went over to my Aunt Cynthia's house and asked her to teach me how to make the dressing. And she sent me, like, emailed me the recipe. So this morning I was thinking about what ingredients because I think I'm gonna switch it up and shake it up. My auntie's recipe uses the jiffy that you say that can't mess up. I don't know how
Yeah.
you gonna feel about my vegan dressing. I should make it for you.
You
And you let
should.
me know, since dressing is in your top 5 list of things that
Yeah.
can't be messed up.
Yeah.
I'd love to see how you feel about my vegan dressing. But yes, I make a bomb vegan dressing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I
I'm
do.
gonna have to see about that because dressing is my favorite.
I see that. I
That's
see
funny.
that.
That's
So,
funny.
yeah, I'm gonna have to let you try it. Clearly, I'm gonna make it this year just for you. So we got dressing, we got turkey, we got mac and cheese, sweet potatoes.
Let's go. Let's go. Either sweet potatoes or sweet potato pie or even yams. We'll add both of them. You
I
can't
yeah,
mess it up.
Aunt Cynthia also, like, famous for her sweet potato pie.
Yeah.
She drives around Chicago just passing out pies.
That's dope,
She's
man.
famous for that. Me and
That's
my
dope.
family used to fight over those. All right, so I just got one more. I was doing good with yours.
Actually,
Yours
I
is
would
real
say
easy.
turkey.
I know
Turkey's
what
on the
Black people
list.
eat at Thanksgiving, and I know I know where everybody gets mad about something being messed up, what that might be.
Yeah.
So I got one more. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I think you got it. I would say turkey or ham. That has to be on the list. That has to be because that's the main thing that people come together. It's always been a traditional thing. So I'll put that on there.
I hear that. My family usually buys ham from Honey Baked Ham, so there is no
Okay.
messing it up. They buy it, is there, is good, the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that would be it then.
All
Well,
right.
yeah, you got
Looks
it.
like I win because I
Yeah,
didn't
you
get
do.
all
You
three
did win.
points.
This is the only time I'm gonna let you win. This is it. This is it. Like I'm a sore loser.
Yay! 20K for me and my family. Yes.
Half the family, the ones that don't believe
Yes.
in the white supremacy.
I mean, that what we talking about with loving the unlikable is loving the unlikable. I don't
Yeah,
like white supremacy. It ain't my favorite.
yeah,
And what loving the unlikable is to be like, yep, that is not a thing I love. I like. How can I find love? And I'm gonna tell you this is my new secret. I said that
yeah. Let's
I
go.
didn't know how to do it, but what has brought me peace is recognizing that each one of us are on our own divine path. And it is not for me to determine what one's divine path looks like. And
Yeah,
that's been my downfall, my shortcoming, my fatal flaw is that I have a very specific idea of inclusivity. It's not even that a specific idea because inclusivity is not necessarily specific. It is inclusive, but inclusivity is a value that is important to me. And in reality, inclusivity is not a value that is important to every American.
right,
And
right,
the
right,
Americans who do not align with inclusivity are on their own divine path. And
right.
that is something I need to remember that their challenges, their lessons, the log that's in their own eye has nothing to do with the log that's in mine,
Let's go.
and I got to focus on me, my business, handling my stuff, my own fatal flaw, instead of projecting or trying to control.
Yeah,
They're on their own path. Let it be.
that's it. I 100% agree. I think that it gives the opportunity to explore a different world outside the norm of how I think. And how often have I had my own personal beliefs that's been flawed in their own way? You go to a new state of awareness where it's like, oh, okay, I know I got parts of myself that have been like that out of ignorance. It allows you to show grace too.
I mean, I got to give you respect for being able to see that. One of the things is part of what you just said with grace. We have to, right? We got to give grace to ourselves. We have to give grace for others. But I learned, and this is new. I feel like 2 weeks new.
Yeah.
I've learned just how significantly and deeply my attachment to control is. That even my inspiration, my connection to the concept of being the change I wish to see in the world really stems from an idea of the change I wish to see in the world. That it isn't um and the way that I looked at it is like, okay, the change I wish to see in the world may not be the same as yours, but it was really what connected me for it is wanting the world to change instead of accepting the world as it is, loving the world as it is, recognizing that everything is unfolding perfectly no matter what. And my judgment is simply my choice. And it's not fun. Judgment doesn't serve me. It doesn't provide grace and support for people around me. And I didn't think of myself as a judgmental person. And what that meant is that I was ignoring just how significant and big my judgment is. Because call myself
Yeah.
non-judgmental and to be as judgmental as I was, huge.
Wow. That's interesting. I also think about the fact that there's no story without the antagonist.
Yes. Yes.
Like, if everything just lined it the way that you wanted to have, no adversities, no trials, no indifferences, no contrast, like you wouldn't even read the story. You wouldn't read the story. But I like you being able to acknowledge your own judgments because how much of that judgment, like at what role does that judgment get so emotionally charged that we don't become the exact thing that we don't like, right? It's just like in politics. Like, how engrossed do you get on one side to one point? Exactly what you don't like on the other side is exactly what you have in you. At one point, does it get like that where you can't transcend it and just see it for what it is? I think that can happen.
It can happen, but I also understand why we don't choose to, especially because of what you just said about how every good story has an antagonist
Yeah,
that we all need. We are all on our own hero's journey. So
absolutely.
we have antagonists and challenges and trials to learn the lessons that we need to learn. That failure is the most triumphant thing that we can experience. And if there weren't people around creating opportunities to fail, those lessons wouldn't be there.
Yep.
So it's so much easier to judge
Oh yeah.
instead of doing our own work, learning our own lessons,
Listen.
focusing on ourselves.
And using judgment for what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be utilized in order for you to make a decision. And hopefully the decision leads to expansion. Hopefully. Hopefully. So
Beautiful. Beautiful.
that's it.
Do you have any closing thoughts or anything that you would like to share before we pray out today?
Let's see, yes. As we go into the holidays, find a way to create and be more of love despite the adversities that come across. Let your inner world be your inner world. Let it be your power, but look for opportunities to be the light in times where people are experiencing a lot of pain, where people are experiencing a lot of struggles, where we don't know when we're going to take our last breath. I think about some holidays where I don't have a brother that's going to be here at the dinner table with us, right? I have a couple brothers who's locked up. They're not going to be at the dinner table this year. And so the nature of what we used to have is not going to be there impacted in such a way. We do have a mom that passed away a few years ago. So even my sister's been impacted. So it allows us to create a new tradition. Right. And so always look for an opportunity where you can present and be loved and create that spark that does bring love and joy to the holidays to keep it special despite what the world may try to enforce upon you.
That
That's what I would.
is that is so beautiful. I appreciate you bringing grief into this conversation because
Yeah.
you're right that that's something that's present for a lot of us at the holidays, as you talked about with people who used to be at the table that aren't at the table anymore. And I think there is so much respect. There's so much value in living from the standpoint of having gratitude for the now, best day ever. Like
Yeah.
just knowing that the conflict that we may be experiencing with family members is an invitation to do that healing work while we are all still on this planet and in this plane of action, so that while we're here
Come
we can
on.
honor and celebrate one another, because we never know how long we'll be
Listen,
here.
and have the consciousness to talk about it, to bring consolation. That's what I was wanting to mention. Some of the trials and tribulations that I heard that's coming up from families has been things that's been ancestral. And I am grateful to be able to consciously have the dialogue that can bring closure to some of my elders in our family. You know, I think that that is a blessing in the time that we're living in because they're carrying a lot of pressure and don't realize where, why, or even how. And so for us that are doing the work, it can offer an opportunity to be able to really have a life altering dynamic, which I've been able to experience, with some trauma that's been carried since childhood, where you can make sense of it. So that's good. That's good, Casey. It's
All
good.
right, all right, you ready to pray out?
Let's get it.
Let's get it. So I invite us on the screen. Those of you who may be with us now or joining at a later time, I invite us to take a moment to bring our attention and our awareness to the breath, to recognize the sacred energy of the breath itself, to celebrate being alive. And I am grateful that we have come together by divine appointment to celebrate this experience of aliveness here and now, honoring the presence of family in our lives, the lessons learned, the wisdom gained, the opportunities to heal generational trauma. Grateful to trust and know that as we move forward on our own heroes' journeys, that we get to see the antagonists in our lives as part of that hero's journey, as a necessary part of that hero's journey, and people that we can honor and bless for their presence and participation in teaching us the lessons that need to be learned for us to be the greatest version of ourselves. And how beautiful it is that this breath And the body is what we all have in common. This sacred breath that powers us, that energizes us, that we can choose to breathe intentionally, or we can be breathed by our own understanding of the divine. That it's a conscious choice or an unconscious choice, that it is all a decision. And I'm grateful for that we have decided to come together for What's Up and Why today. I'm grateful to trust and know that everything needed to be heard, that needed to be said, that needed to be expressed and understood has been done. And in gratitude, I invite us to affirm this prayer however we are most comfortable. I choose to close by saying, and so it
So
is.
it is.
All right.
Hey.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Donelle Cole, for joining us today. I would love to have you back next time. Be Lovely got a birthday situation or something. So no,
Happy
I'm gonna
birthday.
keep you on my list. And thank you for accommodating and joining
Hey,
us
listen,
today.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Good talk.
Thank you. Have the best day ever.
Best day ever.
Yes.